So today I'm going to be doing a book review, and the book I'm going to be reviewing today is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So I got this at my library. If you've watched my 2019 bookish resolutions, you'll know that I said I wanted to read at least 5 classics this year. So in February, I decided to read Frankenstein. I did this as a buddy read with Janelle from Miss J. Rod Reads. So Frankenstein is classic horror sci-fi book. So I thought, I might actually enjoy this one. I don't have very good luck with classics, but I thought, hey, it's sci-fi and horror. I might actually enjoy this. Horror is one of the first genres that I got into as a kid. It was the first genre I started writing in, so I love horror. And I haven't read too many sci-fi books, but of the ones that I've read, I've enjoyed a lot of them. And so I figured, I might enjoy this one, especially it's a classic, which means a lot of people love it, so I will probably enjoy this one. Sadly, not the case. So, Frankenstein, if you don't know, which I'm sure everyone knows by now, is about a scientist named Victor Frankenstein who is experimenting with ways to create life, and he ends up doing this and creating this creature um, who kind of becomes the monster sort of villain of the story. And so that's pretty much the premise of this. I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. I just was really bored for most of this book. About 95% of this book, I was extremely bored. You guys know I need fast paced books, and this was incredibly slow paced. And I feel like that's kind of one of the issues I run into with classic books. A lot of the classic books that I've read are slower paced, and maybe that's just because of the time period that it was written in. But I just have a hard time with slow paced books. There were some interesting moments here and there, but for the most part, I was bored. I really didn't like the writing style. I thought it was too much description and internal dialogue, and not enough dialogue between the actual characters. And so I really couldn't get with the writing on this one. This is a short book. It's under 200 pages, but it drags so much that it feels so much longer than it is. And honestly, if I wasn't buddy reading this one, I probably would have DNF'd it a long time ago. Now, I will say I understand why this is a classic. I understand why people love this book and why it's used in English classes and taught in schools, because it does have a lot of great themes in here. And there's a lot to discuss that you can pull to discuss from this book. There's a lot about, loneliness and isolation. What does it mean to be a human or a monster? And does society create its monsters by its sheer rejection of anyone who is different? So there are a lot of good themes in here, and there's a lot of good discussion points you can bring out of this. And so I do understand why people would love it and why it's used in schools. But I just couldn't get past how boring it was for me. And so, mainly because of that, I had to give it a 2 out of 5 stars. I will say this also did make me realize that I had some faulty assumptions when it comes to classic books versus modern day books. And so I was thinking about it, and I will probably do a video discussion on sort of my assumptions between the two because it was pretty interesting to realize. So I think I'll do a discussion video on classics versus modern day books sometime in the near future. Um, but yeah, those were kind of my thoughts on Frankenstein. Definitely not picking up a classic in March. I am going to give myself a break and maybe I'll try another classic in April. We'll see. I don't know. Also, let me know if there are any classics that you really love that you think I might enjoy. Let me know in the comments below because I'm willing to give another classic a try. Hopefully, it's not as slow of a paced one. I will say if you do recommend a classic to me in the comments, just please don't recommend one that's centered around a romance. So, like Pride and Prejudice or something like that. I have a hard enough time with classics, and if you've been on my channel, you know that I don't do so well with heavy romance books. So, I don't think the two would be a very good combination at all. So, yeah, but any fantasy classics, definitely recommend those. Other than Lord of the Rings, because I already know that's a classic that I know I need to get to. But any other fantasy classics besides the more obvious popular Lord of the Rings and Narnia. But if there are any other fantasy classics you can think of, or any other classic horror or classic mystery, I would definitely be more interested in picking those up. So let me know what some of your favorites are. And that's it for this video. I will see you soon with another one. Bye!